I wanted Planes, Trains, and Midnight Run. I love both those movies because you believe those characters, you believe those people, you believe the action. It feels real, not too outlandish, and then there's heart you don't expect. And all those things I feel like were present in this script, and that's what I strive for it to be, so that's the biggest compliment. Thank you. You know, we had a conversation about the rating of this movie and how, you know, the rated R factor that we have here isn't as hard R as raunchy as often these films can be. But I think what the story called for is exactly what we have in the movie. We could have gone a little raunchier, but that didn't feel necessary. We need a little bit of the real way adults speak to each other with some cursing takes you to that edgier place. And I think you need that in order to go to the realer emotional place. So to me, they're really complementary. So we tried to find that balance as we shot it and as we edited it. It was a lot about playing as we went through the shoot and doing variations as we went, and it becomes very clear intuitively, organically as you go, what feels real and right and true, but without experimentation you can't know that. So we were always bracketing the performance and the story with going a little bit softer, a little bit harder, and then we sort of Goldilocks our way to the middle. I can't speak to trends. I just know when I read that script, I had to make that movie. And that was true for Bosses too. It made me laugh so hard I cried. And when I read this movie, I really felt for that character, and I didn't expect to at all at the beginning. She seems so evil at the beginning, and I thought that was masterfully crafted by Craig Mazin, the screenwriter. And so I tried really hard to honor that as we made it. And it's not so much with an abstract intention of social commentary as much as it's something I could connect to. I know people that have had their identities stolen. I did a documentary that touched on the world of identity thieves, and I saw the way those guys operate. And it's something that is nefarious and horrible, but also fascinating to just be willing to become another person, which as a theme is so interesting. The notion that you're willing to become another person when in life you're always sort of figuring out who you are. I feel like it's just very rich soil to grow a movie in, and something that we can all intuitively relate to. Well, we crafted and shaped the script together before we made it. There was a great script in place, but we tailored it to their voice. So I think at that part of the process, we were already thinking about how to make it the perfect tone for the two of them. And then we just continued that on set. So every situation, we tried to find the sort of honest truth of what was right for that scene, and how dark to take Sandy when he's getting tricked into the rib dinner, or, you know, just all those things, and how angry he gets when he's talking about Disneyland and that she's a chimp, you know, all that stuff. You know, we played with all of those things as we went, but we had such a great rhythm and a harmony as we went, that it wasn't, no one was forcing anybody in anything. It felt like we were all just playing for a few months, and then we had all this wonderful material to work from. Oh yeah, she's an extraordinary actress. I knew she was funny. I think we all knew she was funny, but I didn't know that she could play the dramatic heart that she did in this movie. And it's, I think, really what makes the movie special. It takes it to that other level. Oh no, I think she's going to be an important figure in Hollywood and in performance for years, because she's got a lot of skills. We're talking about, you know, doing another Horrible Bosses. We're talking about what the next thing could be. I mean, he's directing now too, so, you know, maybe we'll be competing for jobs. But I do think that he and I are going to work together many times. To me, the inherent comedic premise of two very different people trapped in a very small space is what's critical, is that you craft the two characters in such a way that they are in some way each other's counterpoint or opposite, and that's what's essential. And then watching the fireworks begin as they're trapped in that contained space is really essential. Well, I had done a documentary on the world of identity theft and fraud and phishing and all those online scams, you know, and seen the kind of people that do that both on the technical side and the sort of mastermind side. And I was fascinated by not only that side of the world, but the sort of vigilante, skip tracer, collector side of that world, all characters that I don't think we've seen portrayed in a movie. You know, Skip Tracer was something I knew existed. I asked the screenwriter to put into the script, and I feel like it's a new thing we haven't seen before. It's kind of like a bounty hunter, but it's actually a whole different category. So I love that there's real stuff happening here, and that there's a real truth underneath our sort of fun take on it.